doors open now. He got his first win. Look out. Chase Elliott, the 2014 Xfinity Series champion. We saw a year ago he got into a tuffle with Denny Hamlin at Martinsville, and we said right then his attitude had changed. He became hungrier, and we saw it today. The hunger was in the eyes of the driver of the 9, Chase Elliott. He gets his first career Monster Energy Cup Series win.
I'm back, and going to talk about Chase Elliott's win, obviously, as you can read the title. And if it makes that team a contender to make the playoff or to win the championship, they're obviously in the playoffs already. But I haven't decided when the 100 subscriber live stream thing is going to be. Most likely next week. I'll make an announcement later. Tomorrow, Friday, I'll make the announcement. But yeah, really happy about that. So thanks. Just going to get right into it. So Chase Elliott, he won at Watkins Glen. He's won stages in New Hampshire and Pocono, so they've picked up some speed the last few weeks, which is big. So you may be thinking, this is a pretty good time to, start to catch up, to start getting speed in your cars, start winning stages, winning races, getting playoff points. And I agree with that. I think that this team, if they get hot right now, this is a perfect time to get hot, start running well, start contending for wins, start racking up playoff points right before the playoffs, obviously. The team's racked up 8 playoff points in the last 3 weeks, and they had 0 the whole season before that. So that's a big deal. Leading laps, winning a race now, stage points, winning stages, I mean, that's big. Making passes for the lead, like actual passes for the lead, that's big. I mean, he passed Kyle Busch for the lead. Kyle Busch is one of the big 3. He held off Martin Truex Jr. In New Hampshire, he passed Martin Truex Jr. for the lead. In Pocono, he passed Denny Hamlin, who's a Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota, which is a big deal. But still, that's a big deal. So you got to look at that. You got to look at the team, who they're competing against, who they beaten, which is a big deal, obviously. But, I mean, they still got to continue this. They got to continue. They got to keep the momentum going, and they got to keep doing well. So obviously, like if they go to Michigan, they lead 100 laps and they wreck on a late restart. Obviously it sucks. The result sucks, but still, that's a good day. You showed speed. You still had a fast race car, so you still know that you have fast race cars that can contend for wins. It's just you had bad luck and wrecked. So, I mean, I think they just need to keep the speed up, keep leading laps, keep racking up the stage. They got to go for stage points now. They got that win. They could go for the 1 stage point in the stages if they want, but they got to go for the big thing, 5 stage points. That's obviously a bigger deal. So, yeah, I think Gustafson will be a little bit more aggressive with the calls now. But there's a lot of other things that could happen, I think. I mean, you look at last year, 2017, and Chase Elliott and that team, they didn't barely, but they made it into the playoffs on points by like 70 points or something. So obviously they wanted to win before that, but once the playoffs started, they really started to catch on, and they started it's like out of nowhere, Chicagoland, bam, their second place finish. Their car was illegal because of the back tape thing, but still, even after that, Dover, you were leading with 2 to go. You got passed by Kyle Busch. You made it to the championship 4. Charlotte, you finished second. Phoenix later, you finished second. Martinsville, you're leading late, contending for the win. You get dumped by Denny Hamlin. Texas, you got a top 10 car. I mean, there were a lot of good races there. Talladega, you make an aggressive move to take the lead. You wreck. That was a wreck fest. There was only like 10 cars that survived that thing, but they were contending for wins in the playoffs. Like, during the year, they were just getting top 10 finishes. They were actually contending for the wins. They caught fire during the playoffs. So they're doing this 4 weeks before. And if they're doing this 4 weeks before and that continues to grow, the momentum continues to grow, the speed in the car stays, it keeps on getting better. Chase has more confidence. That's huge because they can win more races. They can get more playoff points and maybe be the 4th driver to get the Homestead. But, it's Hendrick. You got to also look at Hendrick this year. They have struggled. This is the best 3 weeks they've had by far. Other than that, it's been a real struggle for the team, so you got to look at that. If hopefully this isn't a fluke these last 3 weeks, hopefully they can continue to have this, keep it going. That would be huge. If not, it sucks, and the best they'll do is through the round of 12. But man, it's going to be really interesting to see. But there's more things. I'm going to talk about here. As I said earlier, they got that win so they can be more aggressive with the calls, going for stage points and stuff. But you also got to look at the confidence. Chase Elliott, it took him 99 times to win. Those first 98 starts, he was probably like, man, I've had so many opportunities, and I've screwed it up, or we've got screwed up, or we've got messed up somehow. This sucks, man. And then that 99th start, he wins, and he's probably like, hey, I can win. This team can help me win. We can win. So his confidence is probably like 100 out of 10 right now. The team's confidence is also 100 out of 10 right now. So you got to look at the confidence of the team. The confidence of a team is always huge. I mean, if your team is confident and you guys had just won, you're going to have that winning attitude for quite a while until you get your butts kicked. And I don't think they're going to get their butts kicked anytime soon. That's a big deal. This is the first time this team has won since 2015 in November. And before that, they hadn't won since 2014 in October. So, actually September, the late September. But still, that's a big deal. This team has not really won a lot in the last 3 to 4 years. And they sure would like to win. And they know they got the driver who can win some races. It's like Eddie DeHunt, the spotter for Chase Elliott, said as he was coming to the checkered flag. You couldn't really hear it because Rick Allen was doing his commentating. I really liked how he called that at the end. That was really cool. But Eddie DeHunt said, this is the first of many right here, talking about wins. And so everyone's like freaking out. The crowd's like screaming. Rick Allen's like, Chase Elliott's going to win. And then you hear Eddie kind of. But that was still really cool because it's true. You can't deny the fact that Chase Elliott, he has 8 second place finishes and now a win. You don't just, it's like he said, you don't just show up there. It's not luck. It's not like all those second place finishes were at Crash Fest at Talladega. He's got second places at Richmond. He's got a second place at Dover. He's got a second place at Michigan. He's got like 3 of them in Michigan. So he's done well on all tracks. It's not like he just shows up when he wants to at Talladega and Daytona or something. And he won at a road course. It takes a while for guys to get advanced to win at a road course. I mean, seriously, Jimmy Johnson only has 1 road course win in his career. Chase Elliott just won his first career win at a road course and his 3rd year in the Cup Series. 7-time champion. 1 road course win at Sonoma. Chase Elliott has won at Watkins Glen before Jimmy Johnson. A lot of people have won at Watkins Glen before Jimmy Johnson, but Chase Elliott's only 22 years old. You got to remember that. That's a big deal. And it's not like he just got lucky. He led 52 of the 90 laps. He dominated that race. So now that the team is leading laps, they're winning stages, they're winning a race. I mean, they got confidence. They're hot right now. They're like, oh my gosh, we can do this. We can win more races. We can win more stages. We can contend. I'm not going to say they're a championship favorite. I still don't think they're a championship favorite. A bunch of the Elliott fans out there might be saying that. As a Chase Elliott fan, I would love to say that, but I disagree. Just because it's only been 3 weeks that they've been good. And I think they got to continue this going into the playoffs. This speed, the running in the top 10, top 5, leading laps, winning stages, winning races. I think they need to continue that through the end of the playoffs before we can call them a championship contender. We can call them a championship contender if they rack up a lot of playoff points because they're 5th right now. The leaders, it goes Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Martin Truex Jr., Clint Boyer, Chase Elliott. And that's without the points being factored in. When you get bonus playoff points for finishing in the top 10 in points in the regular season, that's without factoring that in. And Chase Elliott's a contender to get in the top 10 in points. He's just 15 out of the top 10, I think, 15 or 20 points. So, obviously, Chase could have a bad race, but still, they're going to go for stage points. They're going to be more aggressive now. I'm still not going to call them a championship contender. I think they can make it to the round of 8, and they can maybe compete for a win to get to the championship 4, but it's going to be really hard to beat those big 3. As I said, I mean, they can make it to the round of 8 for sure. Yes, they can. Will they make it to the championship 4? Slim. Man, it's really hard to call right now. I think we're going to have to wait a couple more weeks before we can actually call him a championship contender. If he's still winning races going into the playoffs and he racks up a lot of playoff points, I think it'd be a good bet to call him a championship. Because if let's say he wins another race, let's say he wins Bristol or something, that's 5 playoff points. Let's say he wins a stage at Darlington, he wins a stage at Indianapolis. That's 7 playoff points. So he's got 15 playoff points, and let's say he cracks into the top 10. He adds a couple more playoff points. That's a big deal because some of these guys aren't getting playoff points. It's like Kyle Busch is 35, Harvick is 33, Truex 27, and then it drops all the way to Clint Boyer at 10. Then Chase Elliott 8, Joey Logano 7, Eric Jones, Austin Dillon, they only have 5. And then there's guys that have stage wins that don't have wins yet. Ryan Blaney has 4 stage wins. Brad Keselowski has 4 stage wins. Kurt Busch has 2 stage wins. And they're in points. They're going to get a lot of stage points from their points position. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see, as I said. But that's all I have for today. Thank you for watching. Live stream will be announced when it's going to happen. It's going to be announced Thursday or Friday. So yeah, I'm excited to do that. Answer your questions about whatever you guys want. And yeah, like, subscribe, share. Thank you for watching.